Weslaco East Wildcats' first scrimmage of the 2017 season against Brownsville Lopez on a hot 100-degree day. Cowboy hats and umbrellas, the order of business. We start off on the defensive side of the ball for the Wildcats, and they come up with a big play right here, and Brownsville Lopez was out on their first possession. No score for them. Now we go to the Wildcats, and they come out passing. Richard Lefevre firing the ball here. J.C. Vargas grabs that one, and he motors down for a good 10 yards. Now a little run. Roy Pedraza, he rips away from a defender. A good 20 yards for him right there. But the passing game was working for Weslaco East. Another catch right there, Freddie Gonzalez. Then we go to the other side. Gonzalez again brought down as they move in to the red zone. They take a shot deep here, and JC nearly caught that one in the end zone. But they will continue to move along. Lefevre, he can throw the ball and he can run as well. Getting closer there. Then they go to the other side. And this is Hector Science. They call him Bones. And Bones scores a touchdown. Great catch by the senior wide receiver. Moving on now, the second possession for Weslaco East now after forcing Lopez out after 4 plays. And this is Pedraza. 25-yard run right there into Lopez territory. Another pass right here. Catch is made. Escape. Gonzalez continues to motor down to the 15-yard line. Then it's all Lefevre diving in for the score. Touchdown, Wildcats. They score 3 touchdowns. Here's another one to J.C. Vargas and the Wildcats. The first teamers, they scored 3 touchdowns. All the extra points were good. 21-0. Those were the first teamers going up against Brownsville Lopez's first teamers. Those are the highlights, and now to our post-game show. It was a morning of football on the campus of Weslaco East as the Wildcats had their first scrimmage against Brownsville Lopez, a playoff team from a year ago. And the Wildcats look like they're in mid-season form. Hello, everybody. Carlos Robledo along with Mike Gonzalez for the Miriam Guetta Allstate Insurance post-game show. And the Wildcats, yeah, they look good today, Mike, scoring 3 touchdowns. That was the first team to the Brownsville Lopez's. They didn't score any touchdowns when it was the ones going up against each other. Your thoughts on the scrimmage, Mike?
I think Coach Brigette should be happy with the way the team played all together. That, like you mentioned, the offense did a spectacular job. Richard Lefevre was on target. The offense was running a lot of spread, which we see it feels like with Coach Brigette every year during the scrimmages. I think he does that on purpose just to see if, hey, he knows the running game is going to be there. Will the passing game be there? And Lefevre looked great, Carlos. I had him down for 8 out of 12. 2 touchdown passes, one to J.C. Vargas, one of his favorite targets, and Bones, Hector Science with the first touchdown catch. They moved the ball at will. Roy Pedraza had a few nice runs. J.C. Vargas had some catches in addition to his touchdown passes. The defense looked pretty solid.
Yeah, and there were some scouts in the stands here tonight. Coach Michael Salinas and his staff, they were here on the track, and they were scouting Weslaco East. Also, we had some other scouts. Mercedes was here, but I think they were scouting Brownsville Lopez, and then some other ones from across the Rio Grande Valley taking a look at Weslaco East. So they were out here, yes, passing the football. This is a team that likes to run the ball. They do pass some during the regular season, and I talked to Coach Brigette about that after the game. All right, Coach, 3 touchdowns here, 2 passing. And so you're passing that ball a little bit here today. You usually do this. You'll come out during your scrimmages, pass the ball around a little bit, and then once the season starts, it's mostly running. So what is your thought process going into 2017 season?
I guess tomorrow when we practice, I'll run the kids. I call all running plays. I don't know what they're doing. They're checking it to pass. I guess I'm lost a little bit right now. No, seriously, every year when we get into after 2 scrimmages, we go as a coaching staff and see what's best for our kids. As you see, Rich has developed a lot in 2 years. I don't think we've ever had a quarterback that can throw like this, so we spread it out. It helps Roy run up the middle a little bit better. But at the same time, we're going to do what's best for our kids. If one game, if I throw 30 times, don't be shocked. If one time we throw it twice, don't be shocked. We're going to try to do what's good for our kids. Everybody worries about stats or how many passes, how many runs. You need to be more balanced. I worry about getting our kids in a position to be the best that they can. That's all I worry about. If we can spread it out and Rich can make this thing happen, we're going to go with what you've seen today. If it starts to struggle, we can still get in the old offense, as you can see on that number 2's drives. So, we're here to correct the bad snap. We're here to correct the bad pass, the not run the route right, and hanging on. That's all scrimmage is for. A couple years ago, we lost a mission 4-2 in the scrimmage, 4 touchdowns to 2. They went 1-9, we went 3 deep.
All right, so that's Coach Burgett. He talked about some things that they do need to clean up, and there were a couple of mistakes. There was a fumble on one point where the defense picked up the ball for Brownsville Lopez, would have run it back for a touchdown, a couple of offsides on the defensive line, and so there are a couple of things that they're still going to have to clean up. Yes, we do talk about being in midseason form, but in reality, there's some things I'm sure the coaches will be looking at on film.
Yeah, stuff like that happens usually in a first scrimmage. You're going to get mistakes like that, the ball over the quarterback's head or some penalties, players not lined up properly, things like that, miss assignments. This is why we have the scrimmages. They shore that up, and then next week with Donna North coming here to Weslaco, they hope to improve on that. But those are little things that they want to address. But other than that, they look pretty good.
They had their full complement of referees here today. They were out there on the field, so yeah, the flag was flying. One of those players that made a spectacular catch that the referees had to check to see if he was in or not was Hector Sines, and Mike Gonzalez, mentioned he made a great catch for a touchdown, and I had a chance to talk to him after the scrimmage. Hector, tell me a little bit about your scrimmage today, and you made some great catches, even scored a touchdown.
Yeah, I had one touchdown, a couple great catches, but the line don't block, Richard don't make the throw, the backs don't get off the end, none of that's possible, so it's a team effort, and we all do it together to one team goal.
All right, and yeah, Hector was one of the bright spots on the scrimmage, as well as JC, Freddie Gonzalez as well, and then Roy Pedraza. He's going to be the guy you're going to ground and pound, right, Mike Gonzalez? But today they gave him the ball a few times, but they didn't overdo it with Pedraza.
Right, and again, I think that's just Coach Burgett doing it on purpose. He knows what he's going to get from Roy Pedraza. So with that being said, he wants to give the other players an opportunity to see what they can show.
They did look good. Once again, Lefevre coming out, firing the football. He loves throwing that football. Not only can he run with the ball, because he scored a touchdown, not only can he pass the ball, but he scored a touchdown running, but he loves to pass that football around. And here's what he had to say after the scrimmage. I know you guys run the ball a lot, which you're also very important at. You even ran today for a touchdown. But what about passing the ball? Do you have any input to that, or is that all Coach Burgett?
I try to push it, but my pushing it's like when we come out to throw, when we come out to, I think 110%, everyone has to be complete. Every ball has to be good when we come out. So, that's my way of pushing it. But him, he does a good job of calling it and allowing us to open up the run and everything. And then when he wants to run, hey, we're going to run the ball, East powerhouse. But, I try to push it kind of throwing the ball, just opening up for Roy so you have an easier life,
All right, so that is Richard Lefevre next week taking on Donna North. And what do you expect to see? This is a team. These guys right here, they've been, especially the core players, they've been here for a while. Do you think that they're going to come out and play, 2 or 3 series like they did? Or is this going to be something where maybe they'll rest up and get ready for September 1st against Sherryland?
If you notice, Carlos, in this scrimmage, there wasn't an actual game situation type. It was more a controlled scrimmage. There wasn't a clock going on. So I think next week we're going to see more of a game situation where the tempo will be a little bit different, probably going to be a little bit faster. But going back to Richard, I was very impressed with the way he managed the offense now as a 3-year starter. One of the things I noticed about him was when there wasn't a guy open or the pass wasn't there, he did the smart thing and either just ran with it or just, did the smart thing and not make a turnover and not make a mistake. But yeah, next week the first teamers will probably get the same kind of action, the defense same thing. The coaches will make their final touches. The great thing about having a team that's experienced is you more or less know what you're going to get from them. Now it's just about tweaking the little things and finding other players that are going to help you out perhaps as backups. And, maybe the offensive line. The offensive line we know are young, so that's probably something that they're going to also look at, see who's going to help them for Sherryland.
Yep, we didn't mention the defense too much, but they played outstanding today as well. Chucky, he hit all of his extra points.
They were good.
3 extra points. They were good. And those uniforms are pretty nice also. They wore their uniforms today. They're trying to break them out break them in, I should say, before that first game of the season, September 1st. All right, well, that is the end of the Murrieta Allstate Insurance post-game show. We'll be back here next week for Donna North. They will be here in town taking on the Weslaco East Wildcats. And then they'll get ready for that September 1st game against Sherryland at Bobby E. Lackey Stadium.